Alright everybody, welcome to another daily Corey B MTG video. Today we are getting back to the dojo here. We're still 4 days out in real time from me having my deck list due at the Arena Championships. A reminder, the Arena Championships is a first place $30,000 event that I qualified for. So I've been taking it very seriously. So I'm getting in the dungeon, in the dojo to do some testing. So this is my front runner right now, and this is pretty close to the list that I would be very happy to submit. If I had to submit right now, it would be this or maybe 1 or 2 cards different. The main things that I'm considering for the main deck, otherwise I really like this list. I really love every aspect about it. I think the only thing I'm between right now is turning 1 Mockingbird into a 2nd Anoint the Affliction. Otherwise, I'm very likely to play this 60 main deck. I really like it. So then looking into the sideboard, I added a 3rd Shieldred as I want to have a good plan against red decks. Basically against red, I just want to turn into a removal and fatty dot deck kind of thing. You know, just removal, big creatures, and you know, go from there and try to win the game that way. As Kaido, I think, is pretty bad in those matchups. Still experimenting with all the sideboarding, and I will have a sideboard guide for whatever deck I end up playing in the Patreon below. And who knows, by now by the time you're watching this, I might already have a sideboard guide for this deck or whatever I end up playing in the Patreon. So make sure to check the update below if you're interested in that. Then my other consideration, 1 Eclipse for these go wide Convoke decks, which I think could be played. Like, it's a decent deck against Dimir. It's a good deck against Dimir, and it's okay against other stuff. So I want to be a little prepared for it. Only 1 copy is not amazing. Another Tidebinder. This card, I started with basically 0 of them and like maybe 1 to like, this is the best card in half my matchups. So I've been loving that. 2 Anoint, 1 Disfigure. This is a Brad Nelson special. He is loving his 1 Disfigure, even though I don't think it's very good. But whatever, I'm sure that'll be something else. 1 Gix Command, another Sweeper, just a good all-around card. Blot Out for a variety of things. A couple Duresses for control decks. The 4th Cutdown, and then some hard counters. Brad and I, so me and my brother have been the main people testing. Been chatting with Ross and Ely Cassis as well, but that's kind of my core testing group. And, you know, none of them are qualified, so it's mostly just me, but getting advice from some good Magic players. And 3 steps ahead, we end up liking more than Negate or Disdainful Stroke at the moment, but I do want some counterspell in that vein. The one thing I like about 3 steps ahead is, like, against the domain decks, I don't really want that many counterspells anyways, but with 3 steps ahead instead of Disdainful Stroke, instead of Negate, I think against like mono white, I would rather have a good counterspell. Golgari, you like a good counterspell, and it's just a good versatile card. So, all right, before we get too far into this video, make sure if you are liking this daily Corey B MTG standard videos here, especially in the dojo, leave some comments below, as well as like the video and subscribe to the channel to make sure you get notified of all the future videos. And before we get too far into it, let's thank the sponsors of the stream. First up, KMC. If you like KMC products as much as I do, this is a perfect time to save yourself 15% off with that promo code in the top left part of your screen. And you can get this very cool Mox deck box behind me. Very cool material. I got the teal one, but there's a bunch of different colors you can get. You can mix and match that Mox Diamond, as well as the sleeves that they have are incredible. The Hyper Phoenixes and the Hyper Matte sleeves as well. Next up, we have Heavy Play. If you're interested in any of the Heavy Play products that you see behind me, you can feel free to use that promo code and that URL above my head up there. And their newest product is the Phil Stone ETB playmat. If you like the ETB playmats with artwork on them, Phil Stone is the first of many that they plan to do. So make sure to check out all the cool stuff that Heavy Play is doing. Next up, our last sponsor of the stream here is the Spotlight Series here in Atlanta. If you are interested in playing in this, you should very much consider joining. This is a really cool event where all the competitors are going to get a promo Terror of the Peaks. If you make it to the top 128, you get one of the foil ones. That's going to be very sought after. it's just going to be a great tournament. There's nothing we've really seen like this. Giving away $50,000. The top 8 gets Pro Tour invites straight to Chicago. It's going to be standard, of course, and these are the coverage team behind us. We got Monty and Maria, and then myself and Ailey Loney will be the other coverage duo. So come on to Atlanta January 3rd through the 5th if you're interested. All right, let's battle. With my favorite deck, let's see what we can do. Unfortunately, this has to be a mulligan. Just a 1-lander, no siren, or no the map creature. Definitely mulligan. Okay, now this is perfectly reasonable. Doesn't have any beef, you know, it doesn't have any meat and potatoes on this, aka Kaito and Enduring Curiosity, but still gonna keep. Hope this hand is good enough. Laid with the Verge, get a map and say go. Okay, blue-green. So this could be a, that's tempting. This could be an up the beanstalk deck, and almost assuredly is. So we're going to attack and get Fairy Mastermind down, especially if they go beans here. Mwah. Thank my fans. Everyone who believed in me. You get a card, I get a card, baby. You get a card, I get a card for Kaito. All right. So we got Kaito. Hard to not want to just slam that. This is Domain. This matchup can be tricky for me. I don't expect a lot of it at the Arena Championship, and I actually don't think the deck is very good. But I have struggled with it. But it's good to practice. But yeah, I think this is one of the 2 matchups that I have losing records against so far. It's Domain and red decks. Otherwise, I'm kind of crushing everything. Now do I want to get beefy or start drawing some cards? So you start doing combat math, so I could make this 5, 6, 7 next turn. That's a 2-turn clock. But if they have Leyline Binding, then I feel a little silly. Yeah, let's get the card first. But I wouldn't be too shocked if I start drawing next turn. Let's get these poopy lands out of here. Excellent. Now we got enough plays, so ticking up on Kaito is totally reasonable. Only 3 types, so no Leyline Binding possible. There goes a Sunfall. That looks like a get lost.
Don't worry. I've got an exit
Okay. So, now that that's the case, the one thing I'm worried about next turn is White Overlord. But if I just play another Mastermind, is the White Overlord the biggest deal? Maybe still is, but... would I counter it? I'd prefer not to. Alright, I am just going to amass a battlefield. And kind of hope they don't have it. Also be okay if they have it because we get to draw 2 cards. And then we'll hold up Counterspell / Enduring Curiosity for the following turn. Now the one thing I guess we hope they don't have is Temporary Lockdown, but not a lot of those in the main deck. Scared me. Okay. You get a card, I get 2 cards, baby. You get a card, I get 2 cards, baby. Sure. So now I gotta be wary, and for the rest of the game, of Sunfall. So I want to be acting at instant speed as much as I can. So let's do that. And let's say go. Now, 4 power regardless is what I can put into play. So that's what I'll do, unless I want to diversify my threats. What do I think they're gonna have? Probably just like 1 removal spell. And it's probably a way to destroy. I mean, it could be Leyline Binding, but I'm going to play the Enduring Curiosity. This is putting more of my eggs in one basket type thing, but that's okay. Okay. That's pretty strong. Okay. So I can put them to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I could present lethal next turn with a counter spell and then start mapping off next turn. Okay. I think I like that. And it can also be a counter spell. It can be a mana leak if I really want to by animating the Sanctuary. Do I care about that? Not really. You can draw a bunch of cards. Okay, so since I didn't need the counter spell, I think I will animate this and play one of these. So that's 5, 6. Okay, now I should be able to get this done. So that's 4. Now we just need to hit not all lands. Okay. Not all lands. We can hit one more land. That's it. Okay, just leave it there, and now we just get this going. 6, 7. Don't forget about the map, you know, hurricane at the end of a game. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. Brad, I tested with Brad a lot, and I was playing mono white, and he just got me with the map hurricane so many times. All right, Domain to Shauna's Tidebinder is really good. 3 steps ahead, I'm not sure if I want it against them as they have so many caverns, but same with Duress. They actually just have a lot of creatures, so maybe I want to change how I sideboard a little bit. Bring in some more threats. All right, definitely don't want cut downs. I probably don't want any removal. Maybe that's wrong. I'll kind of look at their deck. So, I mean, they have Zur, but I just can't really beat that card. Otherwise, it's just all the Overlords, Zur. So, removal is not amazing, but Shieldreds are also not amazing. They have a lot of Get Lost, stuff like that. I mean, go for the throats, deal with any creature. Maybe I have to just be this, because I mean, all the cards on my sideboard are pretty bad, except Duress. So I could have Duresses in instead of go for the throats and just try to be as anti... what about... I don't love this. Three steps ahead can be so good, but it can be so bad. All right, these are kind of my questionable slots. What if I go like this? I mean, there's still, like, countering spells seems great. And my 1 Gix command for a sweeper. I'm going to try the Shieldred. I'm just going to try the no removal. This is basically the sideboard I would have against, like, a blue-white control deck. And, I mean, there's plenty more creatures in this deck than a blue-white control deck. So I have to get onto the battlefield very quickly. AKA, I have to be able to cast my spells. Because once they get ahead, I just can't catch up. So I'll keep this. Do I want the creature land? Kind of not. I do kind of want to just hope to curve out. Duress their beanstalk kind of thing. Maybe I'm supposed to be taking out the drowners, though, too. That's the other consideration I have here. Let's see what we're up against. Yeah, got their bean, which is huge. Alright, but the rest of their hand is pretty strong if they draw lands. They only need one of them, too. Okay. Okay, at least it's a tap land. So I'm not going to play my Mastermind. I'm going to let this get killed if they want. Which they probably will. Yep. Now, I'm just going to play this and crack the map now. I want to hit a land for old Shelly next turn. Okay. Ah, I didn't specify. Okay, yeah, I mean, they're just... If they top deck a land, I'm just dead. I'm just straight dead, but a removal spell wouldn't do anything, you know? Alright. Let's hope for the best. Looks like they didn't hit it. Also, maybe their mana base is a little awkward. They don't have it perfect right now. Okay. Don't mind that. You get a card, I get a card, baby. Alright, so next turn they can do that, right? Because one's on Wizard. Yep. Merfolk Trickster? Does that do anything? Not really. And here's a spot where it just doesn't look great. Alright, let's attack. Okay. And, there's not much I can do. That doesn't really help either. Alright, we'll say go. Hopefully they're too afraid to play it because of like a Merfolk Trickster. Looks like they are not. Or a Tidebinder. Yeah, if I just had a Tidebinder here, I'd wreck them. But instead, I die on the spot. Yeah, I probably have to have some removal in. Yeah, I just can't beat it. I guess unless I top deck that Gix command, I'm not sure if I left in. Okay, I mean, Gix command would be just insane right now. Alright, let's try to draw to it. Okay, that's not a Gix command. That's not a Gix command either. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm drawn to that. Can't really attack, so we'll just say go. The Gix command does seem great. I hope I brought it in. I can't remember. I might have not. I think I might have left it out. I can't check sideboard, though. Right? Take 14? I guess I can kill Zur. Could be helpful. Okay. See what we draw. Alright, I definitely don't want the duresses when I'm on the play. And we'll have to have a little bit... I just don't think it's right to not have any removal spells. Okay. And we still look pretty good here if we can draw the Gix command that is maybe in our deck. Looks like it's not. Alright. That was an experiment. And there it is. That was an experiment, and I don't think that's right. But on the play, it might look a little bit better. I mean, man, 3 steps ahead is bad when they have a bunch of counter spells. And it would be the same for Spell Stutter, but do I really want to just be attacking overlords with removal? Not really. I think I'm going to do this on the play. But on the draw, I think I would take out the 3 steps ahead and have 2 go for the throats too. If I was like, you know, playing in the tournament right now. I'm just kind of trying stuff a little bit. But on the play, I want to just try to do my thing. Not have a bunch of removal spells in. On the play, you can really tempo this deck out. Like, I can just have a medium 1, 2, 3 draw or something. And I can really tempo Domain out pretty easily. So winning game 1 is huge for Dimir. Alright, let's try this. Not very good. It's a lot of 4 drops. It's a little too slow. I'm going to mulligan. Equally as slow, but I'm going to keep. Get rid of Shieldred. Gross. Fairy Mastermind. Alright. Hooray! Right on time. Okay. Sure. I could play Kaido. I don't love it. We'll just say go and either Curiosity or Tidebinder. Definitely too slow out of the gates here. But they don't have up the Beanstalk nor green mana. Okay. They got a little help now. Let's hope they don't have another binding. We'll just have them take this. Now I could just play Kaito. I think that seems good. Play Kaido.
The housewarming party? I've got you beat 6 different ways.
Okay. I am gonna play this. And say go. Now we added some real threats. Domain, it's pretty standard to play in a 3-game set where they struggle on mana 1 game and either lose because of it or the deck looks awkward. And I mean, that's looks to be what's happening, but okay. Gross. Ugh. Never mind, we're dead. Okay. Now we'll chump block this. Alright. Well, we gotta tick this up.
I thrive.
And we'll get in there. Draw some cards. Hope to find something. Not the worst Magic cards. All right. I think Shieldred's pretty good. To just trade with Leyline Binding? Alright, let's try it. Now I'm afraid they can cast Overlords and stuff. Alright, I'm gonna block. Now we'll try to get rid of Zur this way. Okay. Yup. All right. So now we can do some stuff. And I think it begins with getting rid of this. Stunning this.
Sit down.
And go. Meow, meow, meow. Okay, and then acting at instant speed as we're in complete control. But there's plenty of good draws for them. That's not one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I go like this, yeah, let's go. Okay, that felt like a game that was gonna slip away because of Zur, but you know, Floodborn is still a good removal spell that can also be a threat. I gotta figure out my exact combinations on how many go for the throats. It's definitely not 0 when I'm on the draw. I think I should have some in, because like one removal spell just wrecks them. But I don't know the perfect mix yet. So yeah, that's what we gotta learn here in the next couple days. Let's play another one for match 2. And our hand looks okay. I'm gonna keep. I'm not thrilled about it, but if we can get one more land, being able to Kaido here is awesome. So we are gonna start with a Mockingbird on 0 as just a bird, and that is just Kaido fodder. What do we got here? Okay, so this is one of the blue-green decks. This should be a good matchup. No matter which one it is, it should be good for us. So let's go like this. Now, do I want to mock again? I think I do because I have Enduring Curiosity. So let's Mockingbird. Let's copy Mockingbird. Can't do it. All right. So let's attack, and then we'll say go. And then Kaido to find land 4. All right. Wish we had Fairy Mastermind instead, of course. But, I mean, that's basically every game. That card's amazing. Obs. I think I'd still rather get Kaido going. But it is close. All right, now we're going to for sure draw a card to try to find a land.
Ha! I love a dramatic entrance. My eyes are.
I think I want both of those. All right, now we're in a great spot, and we can play the flash game here after this. As long as this turn isn't too nasty, but this is the Beans deck. It feels like this is the cash grab turn. And this is basically the main matchup why I'm not considering this deck. We played this deck yesterday, the Bant version, and it's because of this matchup that I'm pretty off it. Now, if we attack for 5, does that matter too much? We don't really need the cards right now. And this is near impossible to get off the battlefield. I do think I want to just push damage right now. I don't always like to do that. But let's do it now.
I've trained with the best.
Now, there is a world where I just go Fairy Mastermind and copy it, but they could have a bounce spell, and that is a little bit worse. So instead, I will just say go and leave myself open to the Curiosity world. Not going to counter Seed of Hope. No one ever should. Cash Grab is reasonable to counter. Now, this is going to be 4 spells. All right. Let's get it out of there. Now we'll have our Mastermind ready to go for their first draw if they do it off the Beanstalk. They can play a Terror for 3. Yeah, I do want to get these bigger than 5/5s as well. All right, here we go. Okay, so yeah, just getting it to a 5/5 I think is better than tapping it down. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Seems good to me.
I thrive in the dark.
Do I want to draw 3 cards or just play another Fairy Mastermind and have a, oops. Okay. Another Fairy Mastermind and have a counterspell up seems better. 2 great options. Don't think I can lose. But we'll see. Yeah, the Simic deck I think is awesome. I think it's very good. I mean, we didn't do that great in the video yesterday. Spoilers, but, okay. But I do think the deck is good, and it's very good against non-red decks and non-Dimir decks, but I plan to play against those a lot. I think that's going to be the bulk of the arena champs, so not going to get too cute. Into the flood, ma. Alright, so I could spell stutter this. But I can just replay it, so that'd be silly. The crab. Alright, so I draw. Draw. And is this important to... I mean, no, not really. Sure. They're tapped. You can attack for 5. Alright. Yeah. Easy. Alright, bunch of dead cards in here. Cut down for sure. Anoint for sure. I like the go for the throats against them. Tidebinder is probably not good enough. No. Duress hits a lot of things. Blot Out's pretty good, and it's fun to say. Shieldred just seems okay, actually. I never really mind dealing with Shieldred on the other side. Counterspell's fine. And Gix Command could be okay. Well, as it stands, if I just put that Gix Command in, we could call it good. Shieldred, they draw some cards, but they have so many 1-mana bounce spells that I don't think I like that. And that's also kind of the reason why I don't love Enduring Curiosity. But I think it's fine. Kaido's awesome. Kaido's our card. Kaido's our boy. Kaido and Fairy Mastermind. That's what this matchup's all about. They don't really have any counter spells, so everything we do just happens. I don't have Ghost Vacuums in the board anymore. And I mean, that was a card for this, so we'll see. I don't know what else they're bringing in. I think it's either Gix Command or Shieldred here. I think I like a one of Shieldred. All right, let's give it a shot. Yeah, and this is to hope I can... This matchup's fine without the Vacuum. I cut Vacuum as I just don't expect a lot of graveyard decks. Like, this is one of the few matchups for Vacuum. This and the Azorius Oculus. And I think both of those are pretty bad decks for the Arena Champ, so I don't expect a lot of them. But we shall see. On the draw, definitely going to be a little tougher. Great hand. Great hand. Because we got our boy, Utah. 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 Hello. Excellent hand. This is about all as good as it gets. We don't care about Painland, so rivers are great. No beans. So this is going to be a cash grab. It's a cash grab. I might counter it. Results. All right, we'll say go. Talent. Don't think I care. Sleight of hand. Doesn't technically draw a card. Can only bounce it at instant speed, I think. Sure. Land go. I'll try to just make it past the initial push. Land for you. They're running our cards. And we never will with this hand. I'll take the 2. A little awkward we don't get to use our map when we have no other use for it, but that's okay. So, are they looking to crab? Yeah, their crab would cost 2, but I have the answer for it. Alright. Declare attackers. So now it's slightly risky if we wanted to play this. So I don't think I will. But it was an option. Cash grab. I think I'm past the point of this mattering anymore. And like, I'd just rather play my curiosity. So sure. You got a Tolarian Terror probably. Gotta be cheap, I imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, I can't counter that, but I can kill it. Should I do it? I'm gonna do it. Okay, that didn't work out well. Well, it's probably safest for me to just go for the Throat this Terror. Or drown it. Drown it and block or something. Yeah, maybe that Enduring Curiosity was a little too greedy. Yeah, I think that was wrong. Alright, we're for sure gonna attack. And I wish I would have spell stuttered that card now. Yeah, I think I'm playing this game not great. Alright. Let's get it out of there. Alright, now my back's definitely up against it, but hopefully their turn is just Talent Chapter 2. But the one thing that deck's good at is just playing 5/5s once your graveyard's stocked, so. Okay. Fine with me. I'd love to not see another 5-drop, but otherwise I can hang. Okay. Love that they didn't cast it. I guess I should have considered drowning, but I didn't. Depending on what they get, we can duress it. Now, would we rather start copying the drowners? I don't think so. Okay, great draw. Now let's duress, see what they're cooking with. Okay, I mean, I think we have to take this town ain't big enough. And probably just Curiosity here. I have to take a pain to do it. I'm here for it. All right, we'll try to protect. Now next turn, we have a pretty good stranglehold on the game if nothing crazy happens here. AK, we don't take damage. They, you know, maybe just have like a 5/5 in play or something. There's a crab. Now they can play that right now. That's okay, we can start flooding away. Yep. Okay. That's a medium turn. That was mild. Alright. Now, how aggressive do I want to get? I think quite. Let's start with this. And we'll attack. So, we can either Shieldred and hope, or Mockingbird this and tap. Shieldred, we have to go to 4. Shieldred, we go to 4, then we lose to this town ain't big enough. So I don't think we can do that. Alright, so let's do this for 1. Thank you, Arena. Sure. All right. Okay. Thank you, Arena. We'll make sure this is our last match. You got it. All right. Now we're primed to, yes, to be able to animate Sanctuary and go for the throat. Yeah, I like it. I like it that that match felt easy. I played that game poorly, and we still got it done, and that was without Ghost Vacuum. So, goodbye, Vacuum. Good riddance. I'm not saying Ghost Vacuum is going to be terrible in an open decklist tournament, or, excuse me, in an open format where there's going to be a lot of people, but my 49-person event, I don't think Ghost Vacuum is going to be that good. So maybe you want to adjust your list a little bit. Mine is built for an open decklist 49-person event. But so far, this is the deck that I'm playing. I feel great about it. Yeah, I suppose let's check out while we're here. We'll check out our untapped settings after we play a deck like this. As you know, I have a lot of games under my belt, and we'll kind of look to see how we're doing. Let's see. I have these stats disabled, so it didn't count this one. So we're 15-5, so that's exactly 75%. And I think our majority of losses. Yeah, we're 3-2 against Domain, so that was our tiebreaker there. And then we lost to a mono blue deck that was basically Dimir, just without the black cards. And then the 2 red decks. So we've lost to Domain twice, Red and Gruul. But the scary part is, like, that's the 2 times we played. To be fair, I did play against Brad last night on Red. And he beat me 2-1 in matches. So I think that's just a rough matchup, which is not my favorite spot to be because I do think people will play the deck. But the fact that I'm just slaughtering everything else, you know, I mean, eviscerating these blue-green decks, like that didn't even count this one that I was doing. That is the reason to be off blue-green, in my opinion. So I don't think we'll play that. But yeah, still doing good with the deck, still loving it. And it's still my front runner. So if you like these daily videos here in the dojo, we're still testing. We got 4 days until deck lists are due. If you like these videos, make sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow.